Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So what happened this afternoon? Well, Tesla reported its earnings and crashed. And Bitcoin got pulled down as well. Bitcoin is now below 29,000 at an uncomfortable level. So what happened with both? And what do they have to do with each other? Well, I'm going to connect the dots tonight. So, welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are staying strong. We got a little pullback today. Just a little bit. Bitcoin is now right at 29,000. It's bouncing off the support line, so that's fantastic. But what happened today? And what does that do with Tesla? Well, a lot of you guys are Tesla fans, so this has a lot to do with it. But Tesla down over 6%. In the aftermarket, and that's because they reported earnings today and it showed their net income and earnings dropped more than 20% from last year. And Elon warned against this, said all those Fed fund rates hikes have affected many Americans. Okay, it's much more expensive to buy a car these days, and materials have also gone up. That's why the income and earnings have gone down. Right? You can't be making 40% every single year. That's basically what Elon said. But overall, their numbers aren't that bad. It's just that it's bad compared to last year versus this year, right? But ultimately, he stated that Fed Chair Powell is making things much more difficult, right? This is why he's been saying Powell needs to stop it with his rate hikes and cut instead. He's obviously seeing some, or Tesla seeing some effect of that, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have also, right? Anything that has to do with loans, mortgages, car loans, credit card loans, equity loans, any kind of loans have gone up through the roof because of all the rate hikes, right? So Tesla got hurt badly, okay? But there's actually a lot of Tesla and Elon news. You guys know that his other company, Twitter, right? Now Elon is threatening to sue Microsoft because he feels like Microsoft used Twitter data to improve ChatGPT and now is leaving. So Elon actually got really upset because there was a report that Microsoft is going to drop Twitter from its advertising platform because they don't want to pay Twitter's API fees. And then Elon's like, well, they used our free data to train their AI. Now it's lawsuit time. So Elon may be suing Microsoft over this, basically threatening, you better not leave. If you do, you're going to have a lawsuit on your hands, right? But oh, and by the way, he also says Tesla is going to finally deliver some Cybertrucks in Q3. Those of you guys that have an order, you may finally get it. I'm thinking it's still 2024, but he has to say this to kind of, give some hope to the audience, to the people, right? But let's hope that comes. But, how does this relate to Bitcoin, you may be asking? Well, I think a lot of you guys know or may not know that Tesla does own a significant amount of Bitcoin. And once upon a time, it was a lot more, but he decided to sell off a little bit, actually a lot, because he said he needed the money at the time, right? But he still holds a significant amount, close to $200 million worth of Bitcoin. And that has not changed, despite the fact that this quarter, their earnings and revenue went down about 20%. He still did not just sell off Bitcoin because of that, right? Elon at heart is a Bitcoin guy. He has said so before, even though he likes to troll and likes to support and rile up, Dogecoin, right? But he has said many times he holds a lot more Bitcoin than he holds Doge, and he holds a lot of Ethereum too, right? He truly believes that Bitcoin is better than fiat, better than money. That's why he holds so many. And it's not just Tesla. Look at this. Look at this. This is a huge number of companies that hold a significant amount of Bitcoin. Of course, the number one company that holds the biggest amount of Bitcoin is MicroStrategy. 140,000. 140,000. Even right now, it's still worth $4 billion. Right? Then you got like Galaxy Digital and others. I don't know what Voyager's going to do with theirs. But many others in here, they hold a significant amount of Bitcoin. And none of these guys are selling. That's the commonality. No one wants to sell Bitcoin. It'd be ridiculous to be selling. Most of these companies are holding long term, right? And then you have countries. Even China has close to 200,000 Bitcoin. Think about that. And you got ETFs. You got all these. Grayscale holds 640,000 Bitcoins. None of these guys are selling. No one is selling. They're only accumulating more and more and more. In fact, out of the list, they hold about 7.8% of the total supply of 21 million. And we don't even have 21 million, okay? That's how scarce Bitcoin is. These big guys, big players, institutions, whales, they're loading up. They continue to load up while the rest of the world is worried about little fluctuations here or there, right? They are not worried about it. They keep loading and loading and loading and loading, and that is something that we need to replicate and copy, right, as retail investors. But, you know, these days it's much easier to do that because, of course, there's a lot of charts like this that show Bitcoin is in recovery. And we will see a tremendous pump as we get closer to 2024. And as we enter 2024 and 2025, we will see a spectacular pump just like the previous cycles. But this one is just showing what may happen in just the next 2 months. Not the end of the year, not 2024, 2025, just the end of June. Bitcoin may be back up to 61,000. We get a lot of these charts that show 40,000, 50,000. Now we got one that's showing 61,000, possibly by the end of June. Okay? And this is just using history, right? Using history as an indicator. So we may not even have to wait that long for Bitcoin to get close to its previous high, just like back in 2019 and just like back in 2015 and 2012, right? So this may be right around the corner. And of course, here's another one showing a MACD crossover on the monthly scale. Again, whenever this happens, Bitcoin starts a bull cycle. And I argue we're right there, right? Well, obviously, look at it. MACD is about to cross over. We're breaking above this channel just like before. So we are definitely entering the next bull cycle, right? So don't let today or any other fearful FUD scare you away, because this is what you have to look forward to. And it's just getting started. Just getting started. And look at what Michael Saylor tweeted out. Bitcoin is the world's most secure computer network. If your life depended on it, which network would you trust most to defend you from a hostile nation state? Facebook, only 1%. Google, a little bit better. Apple, a little bit better. But 90% would choose Bitcoin. I mean, seriously, of course. A hostile state, a hostile country can sue Facebook, Google, and Apple, right? Force them to lock your account up, force them to give your information to them, right? These hostile states and hostile countries cannot force Bitcoin to do that because it's not centralized. There's no CEO to go to, okay? You can't force these things with the Bitcoin network. So Michael Saylor is right. Obviously, he's right. And, of course, the number of holders that's holding at least one Bitcoin continues to skyrocket, just keeps going up and up and up and up, seemingly never coming down. The number of people that are becoming whole coiners continue to grow each and every week. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. All right. Now, outside of Bitcoin and Tesla, a few other things I want to show you guys. Well, I showed Saylor that already. A lot of you guys are, into AI, right? Obviously, Elon is also into AI too. I didn't even read about this other article where, he's basically attacking OpenAI because that's a company actually he founded but left. But, he's suing Microsoft because he feels like they have they took the data and now they're threatened to leave because they don't want to pay for that data. And, Elon doesn't like that. But anyways, going back to AI, very hot, right? One of the hotter AI projects in the crypto space, Fetch.ai, they have these agents, which basically they're like Agent Smiths. Not really, but they are like autonomous agents that's supposed to make smart decisions, and they look at your behavior and they can kind of predict what you want to do. And that's what Fetch.ai is offering for DEXs now, right? To optimize trading for users, basically making sure the pairs are correct and permanent loss, minimizing that, right? Making sure there's enough liquidity. Basically, that's what Fetch.ai is trying to do right now, trying to spread their wings and partner up with DEXs to help them become more efficient, right? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And also through his partnership called Peak, they are also bringing their AI agents to other chains like Polkadot and Kusama, right? And who knows where else they're going to go. But yeah, Fetch.ai is pretty interesting. One of the bigger AI plays in the space. Of course, the other one is Singularity.net, right? Or Singularity AGIX. So, but they're definitely up there as well. Now, something else that's been very hot recently is Injective. I know they came down today, but Injective has many things going for it. They have partnered up with Tencent, which is one of the biggest tech companies out of China, right? So that is pretty big. But also, they are expanding their L1 in Cosmos. They're getting so many transactions right now. They have their own L1, but they have a lot of DeFi stuff that's going on, and they are definitely hot right now. A ton of transactions, right? And they don't have congestion problems or massive amount of fees that you see on other chains like Ethereum, right? And they're helping a lot of projects come into the space to build their own DEX, right? So that's the beauty of it. So there's a lot of things going on with Injective. They have been really hot, probably the hottest project so far in 2023, and I don't think they're going to stop either. And then also, I haven't talked about Vechain in a while, but Vechain also wants to make sure people are coming into the space, and more specifically on top of Vechain VORJ. So they have launched Vechain VORJ. I think that's how you say it, Vechain. But basically, this is a Web3 as a service platform. Basically, it's an easy way to onboard dApps and companies, right? If they want to come out their own token, right? They want to come out with NFTs. They want to build their dApp, especially EVM compatible dApps, because Vechain is EVM compatible, right? They just want to make it very easy for people to come in and build. That's it, right? Without learning everything there is to know. They basically built this like white label solution for people to come in. So that's pretty good. That sounds pretty darn good. And also, Vechain's wallet, right? They have basically removed the fees. One of the big upgrades for Vechain is basically removing fees, and they have implemented that into the wallet. So basically, it costs nothing to make transactions within Vechain now. It's quite amazing. So Vechain definitely trying to make big moves, catering, still B2B, but it's trying to cater more to B2C, which is great. And they have a USC relationship. They're also based in Europe now, right? They are expanding, so that's Fantastic. And lastly, you know, all this talk about Gary Gensler and lack of regulatory clarity in the U.S., well, Coinbase just got a Bermuda license, and they could be launching an exchange there soon. Hopefully, they're not moving their headquarters out of the U.S. because no one wants to see that. No one wants to see Coinbase get out of the U.S. That would be such a slap in the face, okay? But, you know, they're making plans in case they have to. They already met with the UK guys. They're now, you know, they might be launching in Bermuda. Hopefully, they are not moving out. Hopefully, Gary Gensler is removed from office, and then we don't have to worry about any of this, right? All right, that is pretty much it. Overall, Bitcoin holding right around 28.9, bouncing off the support. Love to see this continue upwards tomorrow, but right now, things are just moving along, right? All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Scrolling down. Let's see if I missed anything. Cybertruck is the last thing anyone cares about right now. I don't know. I care about Cybertruck. I wish mine would come in. Solar eclipse is tomorrow. Really? Maybe that has something to do with it. All right, I'm still scrolling. All right, now I caught up. Remington Steel, what a name. Say hi to my girlfriend Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Glad you guys are both watching me instead of watching each other. Buck, it did come in. I showed pictures already. I don't know if you didn't see it or you're trolling. I don't know what. New law. China High Court ruled crypto as personal property. That was in Hong Kong, and I covered that this morning. Yes. In China itself, mainland, they already deemed Bitcoin as property. Probably will see a bounce, then come down again when FOMO meets. Get closer. Your thoughts? I mean, just a few days ago, Stock Money Lizards, I showed one of his charts. He predicted that Bitcoin's going to come back down to the support, maybe break below support, and then continue forward. So, I mean, there are some TA guys that have predicted this already. So, it could be just all according to plan. Could you give your thoughts on Wilder World coin? It's a metaverse coin with great community roadmap. Probably not right now, but I could look at it real quick. These are market cap, 100 million. Oh geez. They were at $7, over $7 in 2022. Yeah, I'll probably look at them later. I think they actually sound pretty familiar. Not a newbie, Ed says, but I sent 400 Rapmatic from Trust Wallet to ETH address. Can't find it. Any suggestions? Why would you send Rapmatic to Coinbase? Coinbase doesn't support Rapmatic, Ed. If you're not a newbie, why would you do that? So you probably have to open up a ticket with Coinbase because they don't support Rapmatic, but they could probably refund it back. I meant we come down again for FOMC meeting. Maybe, maybe not. Not all FOMC meetings are bad. I think a lot have been, but the future ones may not, especially if Powell says no more rate hikes. Krista Goose, have you heard of Tamadodge? They look promising. Yes, I have, but no, not to me. They don't look very promising at all. Good evening, George. Crypto Hound, thank you. Thank you for that. Saint DCA Day. Is today DCA Day? It is DCA Day. And it's good because today we went down. Because I've been DCing on the way up recently, but, you know, that's how it is. Oh, shoot, it just logged me off. All right, hold on. All right. So unfortunately, we went backwards. Last week, it was minus 17%. Now it's minus 22. But it's okay. Why can't I block this? Okay, finally. You know, it's better to DCA when it's down than up, right? But this week, I'm putting my $100 in Pepe because I wanted to pump to $1,000. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Can't really go wrong. Can't really go wrong with Bitcoin. I'm thinking I should just go with Bitcoin, but it's close to 50%. Ethereum, what dropped the most out of 24 hours? Avalanche dropped big. Phantom dropped big. Fetch, I just covered Fetch. Fetch went down huge today. It could be a good play. Optimism. Yo, you know what I don't have? I don't have Arbitrum. Today would be a good day to add Arbitrum. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've been waiting for them to bottom out, right? And it seems like they have. And they have started climbing. Hold on. 65 minus 6. All right, there we go. So this week, $100 into Arbitrum. I think as a L2, they have a lot of potential. So I think that's a pretty good buy. All right. So that's it for this week. Again, if you guys are not aware, I've been doing this since June or July of 2022, right? Been DCAing $100 every week to prove the power of DCA, and we will see this turn green soon. I'll leave that up. Brownston, I'm down 5K in Solana, so should I hold it or sell it? I can't tell you what to do. If you want to hold it, sure. Solana will come back up, will break its previous high. It may take longer than others, but it's up to you if you want to get into something better. I covered CryptoJet. I covered Woo Network the other day. They seem to be doing very well. They have a centralized exchange and a DEX. They're providing zero trading fees, and they have their own platform. Not available to U.S. residents, though. I mean, they seem to be okay. I have 21 coins, Lazaro asks. You think that's too many? Not really. If you keep track of them, there's no limit. You could have 50 coins, 100 coins. Especially if you're an investor like a VC, you could be holding on to like 100 coins, right? But as long as you keep track and you're focused on long-term, not short-term trading, it's okay. Nature is neat says buy more when you're thinking of selling. That's actually a really good way to think about it, and probably true. I've always said this, when you can't take it anymore, you're at your breaking point, and you're like, I gotta sell this. That's usually when things come around. That's usually when you don't want to sell and you just want to wait one more day. And that's usually when it comes up. Because most people, you know, they always feel like, oh, as soon as I sell, it starts going up, right? It's that thing. Like when you can't take it anymore, just take it a little bit more, and things get better. That's what she said. Fellow IT person here. How do you think the blockchain can revolutionize networking or system administration? Networking for sure. I don't know about system administration. Yeah, I don't know about system administration, but networking for sure. It's going to be hard. Everything runs on TCP/IP, right? But there are some ambitious projects trying to create their own layers so that you don't have to use it. And also for the internet, for example, right? When you have like DNS servers and stuff like that, you could definitely change those to decentralized systems and servers and name services, digital ID, right? I mean, those things, all part of networking. There are projects that are working on those already. So I think in the future, you just see more integration of that. As for system administration, that's tough. I mean, your system administration is more intranet stuff, so I don't know how blockchain can revolutionize. I'm sure there's a way, but I think networking comes first. And storage, compute, all those. I mean, most companies are in the cloud already. All those could be moved to decentralized cloud very easily. Mike Riplinger, appreciate that. Maybe I should be a sports commentator. Try crypto. I saw the chairwoman of ECB on Jimmy Dore today, and she said they want to make it legal to use paper cash when they implemented the Euro CBDC with a penalty of fine and imprisonment. That's very harsh, and you got to think, what's the logic behind that? They really want everyone to use a CBDC so they could track it. They want to track everything. That's the whole point of it. So that's, I mean, it's pretty dangerous, right? This is why I think all countries want to move to CBDC, because they want to track everything. It's really hard to actually track cash if you think about it. But digital currency on top of a ledger or blockchain, very easy to trace. Explain the difference between proof of work and proof of stake. One, you're solving an algorithm. You're working to solve the algorithm. In the case of Bitcoin, for example, right? That's proof of work. Proof of stake is just proving that you have the coins and you're staking it to provide proof. That's the best, the layman's terms, the difference between the two. One is you're proving that you hold it, and the other is you're proving to solve it. What do you suggest I do with $3,500 a month? I've been DCAing to Gala and Quant. Do you think it's worth DCA Bitcoin? Hearst, yes. It sounds like you don't have any Bitcoin. And if that's the case, I believe that's a big mistake. Everyone should be holding Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only currency I can guarantee will be around in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I can't make that same guarantee with any other crypto. Ethereum could go away in 20 years. BNB, Cardano, Doge, Polygon, Solana, will they be around in the next 10, 20 years? No guarantees. The only guarantee is Bitcoin will be around in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So if you don't have any Bitcoin, you may want to think about that. Grizzlies or Lakers? Lakers is winning it. Probably a 4-0. Probably a sweep. Would you recommend Litecoin as a Bitcoin alternative? No. Why? If you're buying a store of value, you go with the biggest and greatest, Bitcoin. It's not even a question. It doesn't matter if Lakers lost. Well, I guess they're not going to sweep them, but Lakers is winning the series. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. CKB, Nervos. Haven't heard much about them recently, so can't really say. Thoughts on Algo after it's been called a security? You know what? You can't really trust Gary. He just declares whatever he wants as security. I don't know if we could really trust it. We need someone to oversee the SEC, and that's what certain Congress people are recommending. Hopefully it comes true, because right now Gary just has free reign to do whatever he wants, declare whatever he wants, and that is not right. All right, guys, let's conclude. Overall, Bitcoin dragged down a little bit today. Okay. And Tesla's down, but it's important to remember Elon, he's a big Bitcoin bug. He's holding on to his Bitcoin, and so are so many other projects and companies and institutions. Bitcoin is scarce. Will only get scarcer, so don't get fudded out. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.